Can you tell us what a business broker does?
That's a great question. It's a good starting point because I think a lot of business owners don't really understand what a business broker does, or even that there are business brokers out there who can help represent them through all phases of the sale of their business. So that's exactly what we do. We're hired by the seller to represent them through every phase of selling the business, and that includes roughly four areas. So the first area is the valuation of the business, and that's really the jumping off point. That helps business owners understand whether there's a gap between what the business is worth and what the owner needs or expects for their next phase of life. And that's really kind of the first step. That's the first informative piece for business owners to really better understand is what their business would sell for on the open market. We also help business owners assemble their advisory team, and that may include wealth advisors like Jarrett, transaction attorneys, accountants, and often your broker has relationships with other people who are competent and expedient when it comes to business transactions. So your broker will also handle all areas of your confidential marketing strategy, and that includes listing the business on all industry leading websites, creating the marketing material, and getting that listing confidentially out there for potential buyers to see. We also have a database of thousands of potential buyers that we do send listings out to. Once those buyer leads start coming in, we start screening those buyers, and we're only going to present a seller with buyers who we feel match the criteria that they've told us that it's important to them. We're also only going to present buyers who we feel are ready, willing, and able to purchase the business because we really want the sellers to stay laser focused on running their business, keeping their foot on the gas. Mean, we all know how hard it is to take the time to list a business or to list, let's say, for an opening within the business, to list that employment opening, to start screening potential employees and get them hired. That's a lot of work. So think about trying to do that for someone who's going to purchase your most valuable asset. So once we've identified a buyer, then we begin working on advising on deal structure and closing. That's really the most important work. Like from our perspective, identifying a buyer is kind of the easy part. And then you start getting into the work that really um, doing it incorrectly can have the biggest repercussions. So, having a broker doing all of this work for the seller allows them to keep running the business. Like I said, you do not want a dip in sales during this time, you don't want a decline in operational performance. And in a lot of ways, the broker acts as a quarterback for the transaction. We're coordinating all the moving parts to ensure the buyer's communicating with the lender, the attorneys are both aligned, due diligence is managed and stays on track, and the process continues moving toward closing. Brokers also bring experience navigating all of the complexities that can derail a transaction. And believe me, we have seen it all. We've seen lawsuits that emerge the day before closing, and we have lots of stories about how deals feel like they're falling apart. And that's kind of an industry saying that we have. It feels like every deal falls apart three times before you can get it to the finish line. And brokers just have a lot of experience and they have that objectivity to be able to bring all the players back together again. So throughout the process, we're representing and advocating for the seller to ensure that the deal gets across the finish line ultimately.